Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Clefane and I work here at the Tennessee Higher Education Commission. This morning I'm going to share with you our FAFSA Frenzy visualizations for the 2018-19 school year. As you'll notice, looking at this website, our visualizations have moved to the College for TN website, and this should hopefully help alleviate any scrolling challenges we had last year. So what you're seeing on the FAFSA Frenzy visualization this year is a little bit different. We've decided that it's really important to focus on both FAFSA submissions, which is the requirement for Tennessee Promise, but also FAFSA completions, which is ultimately what's going to get a student from the point of filing that FAFSA to eligibility for student aid. And so this year we're going to be tracking both of those details simultaneously and then focusing on completions following that Tennessee Promise deadline of February 1st. So what I'd like to first show you and walk you through are some of our data definitions. So you'll see every 2 weeks these maps, as well as the by high school filing tab, which we'll get to soon. We will be updating the data to reflect both the submission, the completion rate, the share of FAFSAs that need to be complete, as well as the Tennessee Promise submission rate. So as you'll recall from last year, looking at our FSA submission rate, we're looking at the number of FAFSAs that have been submitted, as according to the Office of Federal Student Aid, divided by the total number of high school seniors in that county. Now this is looking at public high school seniors only, and this is as of October 1st, and this is reported by the Tennessee Department of Education. In the FAFSA completion map, you'll see similar data details in the hover box with a focus on completion as the map is color-coded, as well as that first data point. FSA completion looks at the number of FSA FAFSAs that have been complete, divided again by that number of high school seniors in that county. What we also include is an FSA share of FAFSAs that need to be complete. And so this is looking at, of those FAFSAs that have been submitted, part of that first map, how many of those have been complete? And so this is an important data detail, again, as I mentioned earlier, in moving those FAFSAs that have been submitted to central processing but were rejected for whatever reason, to that completion status, which will provide a student with an expected family contribution, or an EFC, as well as the information needed to proceed with receiving federal financial aid, as well as state financial aid. And finally, that fourth data point in each of these hover boxes is looking at the Tennessee Promise submission rate. And so this has both a different numerator and denominator, as well as a different data source. This is looking at the number of Tennessee Promise applicants who have filed the FAFSA as of the date reflected in the title of the map. And the denominator in this case is the number of high school seniors who have applied for Tennessee Promise. And so you'll see that throughout the cycle, this will be slightly different, as this is looking at a different group of students as well as a different data source. Each of these details I've just described are also included down here for further information. So this cycle, we will not only be looking at county level information, but we will also be looking at by high school FAFSA filing data. And so using both the submission, the completion, and then the Tennessee Promise submission data, you can scroll through and look at your high school as compared to last year. As of June 29th, 2018, in the case of FSA data, and as of the Tennessee Promise deadline last year for the Tennessee Promise data. Not only can you see the high school comparison that I just described, but you can also filter by county, so you can begin to see the high schools in your county. And every 2 weeks, again, we will be updating this information to reflect data as of the date reflected in the title. And finally, again, I just want to remind everyone that you can go scroll down to the bottom of the map, or at the bottom of the web page, to see further details on the definitions, as well as links to the direct data sources. Thank you.